Renee, it is 2020. Canon has been telling us forever now that mirrorless is the future. This is going to be the way to go. They just brought out the EOS-R, the EOS-RP. We got the EOS-RA for the astrophotography nuts out there. And I have to admit, I was a little bit confused when they sent over the pre-production of the 1DX Mark III. At $9,000 and coming in at a body-only weight of very nearly 3.5 pounds, I want you to answer a simple question for me. Who the f*** is this camera for?
Oh, Tyler. Oh, Tyler, buckle up.
Everyone on the internet and everyone on this side of the counter has been telling us that that SLRs are tapped out. Mirrorless is the way to go. This is the future. Why is Canon keeping up with the SLR?
Okay, there's a few reasons for that. Probably the biggest chunk of the puzzle is the optical viewfinder. You gotta remember, when we're talking about action and sports photography in particular, you can't build an electronic viewfinder, as much as we might try, as fast as an optical viewfinder. This is the speed of light. Light goes into the lens, hits a mirror, goes up and into your eye. There's no processor in the way, there's no screen in the way with refresh rates and that sort of thing. It is as close to instantaneous as you're ever going to get. And when you talk about high-end professional sports, 1/100th of a second can make all the difference.
So where do you take a camera like the Canon 1DX3? To us, it's a natural fit for any kind of indoor sport. And we decided to put it through its paces at the Southside Amateur Boxing Club in Edmonton.
So as I mentioned, it does have eye detect autofocus, particularly in live view. That especially helps during video in a situation like this where it'll toggle between heads and eyes depending on which is more prevalent. Super handy when you got a lot of quick moving subjects like this. Okay, this little bit feels like cheating. Yes, it has the really cool AF on / autofocus selector button. Super cool and everything like that. I feel a little guilty. I've been shooting most of this on my AF tracking just because the AF tracking is really solid. Haven't really had to use a manual selection for autofocus point yet. It's really good at picking heads. It locks onto them. It tracks the motion really well. It feels a little bit like cheating.
All right. I have another question.
Okay.
Just gotta dig for it.
Okay, let's not forget, there's a lot of features in here that you're seeing from a lot of the higher-end mirrorless competitors that you don't normally see in an SLR. So they're making a big deal about this, and it is kind of a big deal. It has a data bank in there to inform autofocus, basically deep learning algorithms. So
like
AI,
Terminator stuff.
So what they're actually using it for is face, head, and eye detection. Now, eye detection only really kicks in during live view, but it's still there. For face and head detection, especially during sports again, it has informed face detect points to actually tell you the shape of the head to make sure it's actually going to focus on the head at all times. And it's using not just based on anything other than just a deep library of sample images it can draw on.
So that's actually probably the first time that we've seen tech really like this specifically in SLR camera. We've seen a lot of that in the mirrorless stuff.
Yep.
But there really hasn't been many SLRs employing this technology. So it's almost like a little bit of a hybrid camera.
A little bit. So as JPEG and RAW, obviously. Also has HEIF for file type. So the latest and greatest in compressed images, now in a new lossless format. You're seeing that a lot more in iPhones. You're seeing that a lot more in some of the mirrorless cameras. It's a burgeoning format, and they got it in there. They also jumped right over XQD and into CF Express now with this guy, so it's dual slotted CF Express. This guy's buffer with those CF Express cards is 1,000 shots at full res in RAW.
So it's an older platform with a bunch of brand new tech in it, like a cybernetically enhanced dinosaur.
Well, I mean, I think
yes.
I think T-Rexes are cool. Look, it is the epitome of a working photojournalist camera. It is meant for those who make their day-to-day living shooting things that most of us never get a chance to photograph.